I'd like to talk about another one of the gremlins. Remember, the gremlins are a way of looking at different concepts of the things we need to pay attention to help improve our lives, to make our lives be the best they can be. And it's all based in our habits, how we think about and do things every single day. The gremlin I'd like to talk about today is pointer. Now, pointer is about our attitude. And attitude is something that we think we know it when we see it, but it's kind of hard to explain. And I'd like to take some time and see about explaining it in a simple and effective way. So our pointer, I call pointer pointer because it's all about who we are pointing to. Who's in charge here? So the temptation when something happens that we perceive as negative, that we believe is against us or detrimental to us or hurts us in any way, it is our natural inclination to find out who's to blame. So we're all about blaming. I read a great phrase today that blame doesn't share very well. We always think that there's only one person to blame in a negative interaction, which is never true. Anybody that's involved in a negative interaction is to blame. And I'm not sure what use blame has. It's not really a helpful concept when it comes to helping ourselves be healthier and stronger and live more full, more rich, more joyful lives. So pointer is about who we attribute the power to. So when something happens and we get upset, we have two ways we can look at it. I'm upset because you said something, did something, didn't say something, or didn't do something. Those are pretty much the four options, right? We can fill in the blanks with any kind of negative interaction that we have. I'm upset because you said what you said, or because you didn't say what I thought you should have said. Both of those can engender rage. What you did, what you didn't do. And so when I believe that I am upset because of what you said or didn't say, who has the power in that situation? You do. You're the one with the power. One of the principles of life is we can't change other people. So if you have all the power and I can only react, then there's nothing I can do to fix this. And that's a terrible place to be. That's a flat, hopeless place to be. I don't like being there where I think that someone else is in charge of my emotions. The other way to look at it is always take responsibility for my own emotional responses. And so if you say something or don't say something, do something or don't do something, and I get upset, then it's on me to say, okay, what is this about? What am I upset about? What's really going on? Because a lot of times it's not necessarily what has happened with you. Sometimes it's what happened in my life when I was little. And sometimes it's what's happening in my life in my physiology. Sometimes it's what's happening in my life that I am so upset about that I was looking for something to be angry about. I don't know. One of the questions I've learned to ask myself is, how will my angry response help this situation? And you know the answer, right? Think about it. How does my angry response help this situation? It does not. My angry response rarely helps anything. It usually has an effect of deteriorating or at least muddying relationships. And it makes me feel like a jerk. I don't like that. So if I take ownership of my emotional response to what you said or did, then I can own it. So when we talk about our habits, what is it that we need to do to find a different way to be? Well, one of the things that has helped me is this practice of intentional silence. To sit in silence for 5 to 20 minutes a day and just listen and think of it as meditation. We can get into a meditation practice, but 5 minutes of silence is just 5 minutes of silence. I listen to myself breathe. I count the breaths. It's simple, simple, simple. But that little bit of margin that I give myself in the morning helps me have the margin to take a breath and think before I react to what has happened. And when I think, I have trained myself to ask that question, or to ask the question, what's really going on with me? And I'm often surprised by that answer. What's this about? Why does this bother me? It is very interesting. And I find that when I can take a few moments and recognize why something bothers me, I can laugh about it and realize that it's got nothing to do with what's going on right now. One of the sentences that I learned in Psych 101 was the fundamental error in interpersonal relationships is the misattribution of motive to another person's behavior. And that sentence has struck with me. I'd love to be able to give an attribution to the author, but I don't have the textbook anymore and I don't remember who the author was. The misattribution of motive to another person's behavior, that means that whatever story I make up in my head about why somebody said or did something is fiction. It always is. And that fiction is not something worth reacting to. I need to learn what's really going on with the other person and what's really going on with me before I react. So pointer is a really, really important one of our gremlins to pay attention to. And we have simple, simple steps we can take to help pointer become healthier and stronger so that we can live a life we love. We can live the life we imagine. We can live a life of joy and connection and doing what we're supposed to do. Thank you for watching.